Hi there. So we just returned from our hiking trip, and before I pack everything away, I thought what I would do is share some of those items with you, just so you can see what we brought on our trip. We were able, luckily, to keep everything under 25 pounds. So here's what Emily brought for her personal items. Basically everything right here. So she brought a shirt and pants and socks that she only wore to bed. So like her pajamas. She probably wore those pants on the last day. 3 pairs of pants. We were gone for 4 days. Her hiking shoes, which worked out pretty well. She got a few blisters. Extra hiking bra, 2 shirts. She had one with her. Handkerchief. Her water shoes, chacos, and her hammock. Her toothbrush, toothpaste, earplugs, in case her mom snored too much. A little cable for charging, a little power brick, some wipes, and we found these. These are cool. Deodorant wipes. They smell really good. They clean and they deodorize. Headlamp. Our favorite lip balm. A mask in case we needed to get in somebody's car, which we did. Film camera, some film. Her smart wool socks. And another pair of smart wools and some right socks. These are awesome. They've got 2 layers to them. Let me show you. There's a thin layer right here inside. It's like a liner, and then an outside part of the sock. So you're not wearing liners and socks, but those work really well for blisters. Some bug spray, some sunglasses, and of course her backpack. She got the spray 65, trying to remember the name of it. And now for my personal items. 3 pairs of pants plus this. Well, this is what we do. We roll them up so they fit better, obviously. My shoes, my walking shoes, these worked out great. They were the Ultras. They were awesome. I didn't get any blisters. My new water shoes for Tevas, a little rain jacket. I forgot to tell you Emily had a rain jacket. 3 cotton t-shirts, 1 for wearing at night, and 1 had polyester in it, which really helped keep me warm because this was super thin. I just really use it as bug prevention because it's super light. I did use it for rain, but it dried right away, which was nice. 4 pairs of socks, 2 of them being the right socks. I ended up giving those to Emily. Actually, these are liners, and I put them under my smart wools one day when I was pretty cold and hiking and wet and sopping wet, really. A bandana to go with my pea style. We've got a little titanium shovel to do some number 2 business. And then my GoPro stuff, the cord that plugs into the power bank, charger in case I needed to charge some batteries, which I did. 6 batteries, extra wind muffle for my mic on my GoPro, and some extra cards, which I didn't need. I brought a cool little light in case I wanted to film at night, but I was so tired. I couldn't really do it. One of those Litras, they're awesome, with the little diffuser. That's the only thing I didn't use of all my gear. Headlamp, Swiss Army knife, toothbrush, toothpaste, glasses, some dental floss. You wouldn't think dental floss would be something you'd bring, but I use it to tie on a bear belt and On one of my hikes last year, I got something in my tooth and it bugged me the whole trip while I was hiking, and I couldn't think about anything else. So this time I just brought some dental floss. I mean, you could use it for all kinds of things, stitching, who knows, but it'd be a really good tool. I try to think of using gear that I could use for multiple purposes. The mask would be a good filter maybe. I didn't even think of that, but that was in case we got in a car. And my knee brace, just in case I was getting swelling. My sleeping bag, which was super warm and comfy. My sleeping pad. And my inflatable pillow, which folds down to about half this size. And my hiking stick, which this trail I would have been lost without them. I also have this amazing chair, which, oh, I would have been so sad. I would have been so sad without this. Chair Zero. Oh, it's the Zero. Yeah, I love this chair, the Helinox. It's pretty small. It's pretty light. And I just put it on the bottom of my backpack like that. It folds up about the size of my sleeping pad. And here's my backpack. The Gregory Diva 60 works really well. It's a small, short, mid section between my shoulders and my hips. So that worked out really well. It worked really well last summer too. 25 pounds didn't really feel like that much. I mean, it adds up over 9 to 11 miles. It's hiking 10 to 11 hours a day. But I mean, everything adds up. But I was really happy we did right at 25 pounds, honestly. We got a little extra breakfast, so maybe we had 26 pounds, maybe 27 with water. Next, I'm going to show you my filtration system and some food we brought, and my tent. Okay, now what I'm going to show you is our cooking gear. I'm sure there's lighter. It's just what I have. We went from car camping to hiking, and it's expensive if you want to try to go less weight. So we've been just kind of building up to lighter weight items as we do things. All right, here's what we brought. I've had this jet boil for years. Love it. It's easily self-contained. It packs away everything that's needed in it. It folds up real nice. This helps keep this item level. This is your gas canister. You don't have to buy Jetboil. You can buy the MSR or the other versions. But this folds up real nice. Let me show how it's set up, what it does. I take this off the bottom. This is a cup that I use a lot, and oh, it's broken now. But it's a 1 cup measurer right here. So I use that a lot when I'm measuring my food. Here's your bottom thing for this. You just snap it in place. And then take your top off. This is your burner. Screw it on. Boom. Okay, screw it on. And you turn it on. All right, you turn it on. Sometimes you can hear it. Oh, I got the empty one out. Basically, turn it on and just use your ignition switch. That's never gone bad. And then slide it on here where you've got your little symbol, and then twist. And then while it's going, I just put my top on. And these colors change when it's boiling, but the steam comes out of here. You can pour it out of here, and this keeps it, you know, safe for your hands. I get kind of stupid when I climb. I mean, when I hike a lot and get tired, so there's a lot of nice built-in features, but it folds up real nice too. Let me show you. Okay, let me show you how to pack it. It's pretty easy. Once you figure it out, place that in there. And then I like everything to fit really well. You see these little legs? It's like a triangle that goes the other way over that. And then your gas. I put my little rubber cup. This goes on the bottom of the Jetboil. And that goes on the top, and then just pack that away. Not super light, but it works. And then if you bring coffee, you have somebody who likes coffee in your group, and this little plunger, it goes straight in your filter. And then you can have pressed coffee. I'll just put these in my coffee bag so I don't lose them. They're so little, easy to lose, puncture bag stuff, so I just put them in there. All right, as our cooking stuff, I always bring tea bags. They're light and they're really nice to have in the morning. And the little moo moo creams for my milk so that I can have milk on the trail. It's nice to have something nice, and a little hot chocolate for after at the night to warm you up before you go into your tent. All right, another one of my favorites when I'm in bear country. Bear spray. It's awesome. You just lift off your emergency lock and then whoosh, and it sprays quite a few feet. I always practice with it before I leave just to make sure there's good spray in it and it's still got good pressure, and I just do one spray before I leave, far away from everything else. Bear spray, best stuff, makes you feel good. I sleep with it above my head. In my tent, I put it right above my head in case, I don't know, somebody comes to camp that makes me uncomfortable, or in case I hear something walk into camp with hooves or claws. That sounds really loud. So just feel better about being able to open one of the sides of my tent. I like a tent that has two sides so I can get out of either side quickly. And this would pretty much stop anybody in their tracks for quite a while. This is awesome. 50 feet of rope. In the Smoky Mountains, they have a cable system, which I'll show you in the video, because we did a video stringing up our food in a bag. Really nice cable system, but this is really nice to have. And then if you need it for other things, it's there, like drying your clothes out or whatever. Nice and light. Another thing I always use is an app like All Trails. We didn't have the All Trails loaded, so we found the best map we could for the Mountains to See Section 1, which turned out to be this National Geographic Clingman's Dome that showed elevation. The trail was really well marked for Mountains to See. It's pretty easy to miss some trails because there are a lot of trails back there. But here's another thing I always bring just in case. It's my compass. Yes, you could use your phone compass, but I like to bring a real life one just in case. But here's how you use it. You find this arrow right here, and you just line up your red to go right. Right there. So you just get them to line up. There's your north. But I always bring one of these and just hook it onto my backpack so I can quickly refer to it. A real live map. I love maps. Very, very helpful. And then I always bring my Knowles Wilderness First Aid Guide too. This helps remind me of my ABCs in wilderness training for situations if they come up. These are great courses. I took one at the end of last summer because I don't know, I think it's nice to know what you could do if you came up on somebody or if somebody in your group had some problems. But it's waterproof and it gives you some real nice reminders of the whole course. I think it's like $100, $200 to take the course for a whole weekend with scenarios. Really like it. All right, next is warmth. If you need to warm up, I always bring like polypro shirt and pants just in case. You get on an exposed ridge. Doesn't matter if it's the middle of summer or not, but they help keep you warm whether you're wet or dry. And a rain jacket's really nice. It might be really hard to wear a rain jacket in the summer while it's raining because it kind of locks in all the warmth you create while you're walking. But it's really nice if you hit wind or terrible bugs. Or if you just get cold at night, you put that polypro on, you take off the wet cotton that wicks warmth away from your skin. Kind of lock in the warmth. Here's some real cheap matches with a little bit of lighter material that you could just start a fire with. They're treated with some wax so they'll stay dry. I carry these as like an emergency item, so I always bring the lighter and the emergency matches. For really important things, I have a redundancy. These are some very important items to keep you safe in the backcountry. Next is water and water filtration. We used these. They worked really well for us last year too, the Sawyer Minis. And then some Smart Water bottles. They're super light. I don't bring Nalgene anymore because these are so light and they fit perfectly on here. I'm gonna get some new bags, but for now I've got the platypus, which I use as my water gathering bag, and what came with the Sawyer filter is this little plastic bag. Again, real nice and light. These are our water gathering bags. So basically what you want to do is hook it onto your water gathering, squeeze out the water into your drinking bottles. You'll see in a video later how that worked, but I always bring two, and I bring the backwash filter so you can wash out the filter if it gets full, if you're in one of those stagnant kind of scenarios. All right, this time we brought some trail mix, which you can see we didn't even eat all of it. Very heavy, peanuts, good energy, a little bit of sugar in your M&Ms. But the energy is really good because you really zip through some calories when you're hiking a full day. We brought these, which they're really bad for packaging, but they were fun to have. We had a few of those. We had a few left over. And then food that we used on our trip. We didn't eat the curry, but I love this Good To Go brand. That's awesome food. You warm up your water and empty it in while it's boiling. But these are really nice because you can just add the water to them and in the package. Now that means these packages weigh a little bit more. And of course you hike out all this weight. It's with you all the time, but nice for not having to go back down to the river and clean things out. Some breakfast foods. These were cool. We found these at Whole Foods. They're pretty tasty too, and they're in a nice container that folds into a little square bowl all its own. Gluten-free. And very filling. It was mostly grains and nuts. This is a nice item to have. I wish I would have brought one up, but it's the middle of the summer and I was like, oh, I don't need any. I would probably bring one of these the next time. At least one, just in case. And of course, hot chocolate for your nighttime. I always pack out all the refuse. That's my food. These are our sporks, which I really like. Super lightweight. And they have a little hanging clip on them, so I just keep them up at the top of my backpack so I don't lose them. I always bring an extra plastic spoon just in case I lose it, because it's no fun digging into those bags or anything else with your fingers and possibly getting contaminated with what you're doing in the woods when you go potty if you don't properly clean. And another snack, which I really liked, organic beef jerky. Really great treat, just to keep you going when you're hiking up a pretty steady incline and you don't want to stop and make a meal or anything. You just you want to grab something that gives you some energy. So this, it's really good beef jerky. Really good. Another item I'm very, very grateful for. Didn't need to use it on this trip or the last one, but I have had to use it in case you get some chafing. Boudreaux's butt paste. Field repair kit for sleeping pads. Jungle juice. Another one of our favorite. And then, of course, a first aid kit that includes several items. Double check it. Make sure it's not gotten too old. And your pack rain cover. Make sure you have that before you leave. That's a good thing to have in your pack. And then I always bring 2 or 3 extra batteries depending on what you need for your headlamp. Here's another thing we like to bring. Neosporin, or an antibiotic to put on your blisters at night. Aleve or naproxen, a few of those pills. And ibuprofen or Benadryl. And here's another bug spray we discovered last summer, which we really liked. Ultrathon insect repellent. I like to put it on my hat, which I bring also with me, especially if it's raining, like a brimmed hat. And if you've noticed, a lot of mosquitoes go to stinky, warm people. And the warmest spot on your head seems to be where mosquitoes like to go. So I'd put it on the brim of my hat, fresh. And if they're biting my hands or something and I don't want to put a jacket on, I'll put it on there because I don't like smelling like that in my bag all night. And then some bags. These are for river crossings. Contractor bags. I like contractor bags. And a bunch of Ziploc freezer bags. These are both for our clothes and the things we really wanted to keep dry, like our sleeping bags, in case you fall in the river or one of the river crossings. I brought this so I could, it's like just a regular garbage bag for your kitchen, just to put around the food when it was hanging on the bear cable. Some extra baggies that just help organize. Like if you have your phone and it's not waterproof, a Ziploc baggie would be nice if it starts raining to have right there in the pocket. A bag for the bear cable to hold all your food. And then of course, a deck of cards. I brought these. This is the only other thing we brought that we didn't use, the light and the tundra cards. And then Emily used this for because we were expecting 80-degree weather during the day and 63 degrees at night, and it wasn't that way at all. It was much cooler, thankfully, during the day, like 70s. So she brought this, which is a quilt, a down quilt for sleeping, just getting tucked in and wearing her socks. But these are real nice. They're real lightweight, and they fold up to be the size of a sleeping bag if you don't want to bring a whole sleeping bag if you think you're going to be too warm. Oh, our tent. When we get back, just set it up and air it out. The rain tarp is drying over there. And set up the tent and just air it out and make sure everything's dry before you fold it up again for your next trip. So here's my tent. I have a Hubba Bubba 2-person tent. MSR. I like this tent. It's real light. This is the footprint bag, the pole bag, and you can see in comparison to shoes how big it is. Not too big, not too big, not too heavy. I bought these extra because the stakes always seem to be kind of heavy. These are the mini groundhogs, which I really like. They fit pretty well in dirt and gravel. They're the MSR version. They're real light. They're titanium stakes. I haven't bent any yet. Real happy about that. And I always keep them in their own special bag. We always bring our phones too. We never have coverage wherever we go, but just in case. And that ended up being my camera this trip. I used my GoPro, and I used the phone for pictures and a few videos. I didn't bring a camera. I had to stay under 25 pounds. I knew it was going to be a tough hike. It was a tough hike. I can't wait to share the hike, though, with you. I hope you enjoyed this. Let me know in your comments what you use. If you like something better than what I have, hope this helps you get a little more inspired to get out there and do something in the woods. All right, talk to you soon. Next week, you'll get to see a video on the section 1, part 1 of Mountains to Sea Trail. Talk to you soon.